We start now or we'll start. The Dhyana slokas. Om Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadihedave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Janmadyasya Yadonvayadi Tarada Chatheshabhinyakswarat Tene Brahma Hridayadigabe Muhyanti Yatsurayah Tejo Varimridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Vrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastaguragam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So, today is our second day of our Uddhava Gita Yajna. Yesterday we went through some introduction. I'll also go through briefly what we covered yesterday, just so that you can remember. And we said Srimad Bhagavata is one of the Mahapuranas, which is old but very much relevant today, and it will be forever. The actual meaning, the indicative meaning of Bhagavata is very interesting. Bha means the supreme consciousness. Bha. And Bhagavata. Ga means to know. And Bhagavata. Okay. Va means the best. And ta means that which takes you across. Okay. So that the best, that is what takes you across is a boat. So the best boat to take you across the ocean of samsara is Bhagavata, the best boat that is for us to take us across the ocean of samsara. I thought that was very interesting. Also, I didn't mention yesterday, Bhagavatam is about 20,000 verses. In Bhagavatam, Uddhava Gita comes towards the end. It is the 11th canto, as it is called, of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has totally 12 cantos. It is also called sometimes skanda. There are totally 12 skandhas. Uddhava Gita is the 11th, and that alone has about, Uddhava Gita alone has about 1,000 verses. So in these 5 days, of course, we are not going to go through. I am selecting certain verses which my teachers have said they are important. So those verses we will go through and try to do our best to do justice to Uddhava Gita. Okay? And we said yesterday, Bhagavan Krishna was talking to the Yadavas, asking them to migrate as though all of them to go to Prabhasa, a holy place, go there and do tapas, do all holy things such as doing upasana, singing glories of Bhagavan, doing charity work, do all that you can use for accruing punyas, because they are already carrying a heavy sin over their head. And as he was talking and sending them off to Yadava, his childhood friend Uddhava was coming that side, and he overheard, and he was also feeling very strange in his mind because he had been seeing lot of bad omens that day. So he came to Bhagavan Krishna and said, Bhagavan, what is that I am hearing? You are asking all these people, all our people to go to Prabhasa. I think I know what's going to happen. I think you are going to go away, and I cannot bear that. What shall I do? I had been eating, playing, living all my childhood. From my childhood, I saw life only through you. And how can I bear being separated from you? I cannot think of being separate from you even for half a moment. Then Bhagavan said, yes, I understand that, but I have to go. The reason for which I took this avatara is done, and this is time for me to go. And Uddhavadi asked him for advice as to how he can live. And he has got, we have to remember, he was so extremely identified with Bhagavan Krishna. The moment he heard Bhagavan was leaving the earth, it seems, he was filled with vairagya. He felt, what for I should live in this world anymore? What is there for me? Nothing else was of any value. He found absolutely zero value in any other aspects of his life without Sri Krishna. So that is the kind of vairagya Bhagavan Krishna wanted Uddhava to have also. And with having brought him to that level, Bhagavan Krishna gives him his last instructions for mukti. So because of that, 11th chapter is, the 11th canto is also called Mukti Skanda. All instructions that are needed for an adhikari student, for a fit student to get mukti is there. So it's called Mukti Skanda. So now we also saw Bhagavan gave him some instructions, right? And so in very brief, we'll just go through the essence of what Bhagavan taught as though to Uddhavaji. He said, if you remember, world is all Nashwaram. That means nothing is permanent. It is transitory and perishable. Anything in this world has got an arrival and a departure. There is nothing permanent here. And you do not go after this impermanent things. Instead, go after what is permanent, which is Satyam. Satyam, by definition, is what which will always be there in all three periods of time. Asatyam is what? The opposite of Satyam. And Asatyam is that you should not go after. So that way Krishna advises Uddhava. He also said, all that we experience is Maya Manomayam. It is Maya, it is all illusory. Not only that, it is all our own mind's projection. Play of our mind. Remember that projector picture? Whatever we see, whatever we experience is only play of our own mind. Maya and Manomaya, which is something that appears, which is not. Then he said, because of that, give up all attachments to whatever is illusory, and whatever is there in this world is illusory. And because of that, absorb your mind totally in Paramatma, in me. When Bhagavan Krishna says me, he does not mean that particular avatar in that particular form, not like that. When Bhagavan Krishna says me, I, he is Paramatma himself. He is always, unlike us, identified with the Supreme Parabrahman. Yesterday we met somebody who has named his son Parabrahman. So, give up attachment to what is illusory, absorb your mind in me. Your vision should be you and Paramatma are not different. These are all very nice to hear. Huh? Krishna is telling this to your vision should be you and Paramatma is not different. Okay? Understand? Abide by that knowledge of self and live in this world as man of wisdom. So Uddhava heard very attentively, and then what did he say? He said, you don't have to repeat after me. You note down these sloka numbers, that's why I have written. You can go back and, because otherwise it takes a lot of time also. Tyagoyam dushkaro bhuman kamanam vishayatmabhi sutaram tvayi sarvatman abhaktairiti me matihi soham mamahamiti mudham adirvigathasaha tvanmayaya virachitatmani. I lost the tune. Tvanmayaya virachitatmani sanubandhe. So, it means Tyagoyam tushkaro. You are asking me to Tyaga means to renounce. You are asking me to renounce this world. And renouncing all my attachments and this world is very difficult for people like us. You said it easily. It is very difficult. We are Vishayatmaha. That means every day, in and out, we are immersed in the enjoyment of the world of object. We cannot start the day without coffee. And then, as soon as, We get up, we need that, and then our next thought is, what's for breakfast? And then the next thought is, what shall I wear for my work today? Because we are in the world of objects, enjoying the different types of bhogas. And you are saying, renounce all this, go. Bhagavan, to do that, maybe some of us, sarvatmanna abhaktai, some of us do not have the required bhakti. Abhaktaha, we don't have the needed bhakti, maybe we don't have to do that. We are not there. And soham mama aha nidhi. Our minds are still in the realm of aham. I, mama means mine. I and mine. We are not able to think beyond that. You are saying, I and Paramatma are saying, but right now, in our daily life, we act, we think, we talk in the realm or in the domain of I and mine. We are that much used to living our own selfish lives. It is, so I'm not able to catch up. I'm not able to reach up to what you are talking about. I'm not clear. I'm very sorry, O Bhagavan. Mudhamatihi vigatasaha. In that, we are not that intelligent. Mudhamati means we are all foolish people, totally engrossed in the worldly enjoyments. And that by your own maya, ton mayaya, virajit atmani sanubandhe. And because of your maya, we are so much bonded. We are all body oriented, our identification with our own body and mind. Not able to go beyond that. That being the case, I am not able to understand what you are talking about. I am confused. He submits to Bhagavan Krishna. When he told this, of course Bhagavan Krishna knew, then he said, you know, Uddhava, I'll tell you one thing. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Prayena Manuja Loge Loga Tattva Vichakshanaha Samudharandi Hyatmanam Atmaneva Subhasayat Atmano Gururatmaiva Purushasya Visheshataha Yapratyakshan Yat pratyakshanumanabhyam Shreyo savanu vindate. It's a very important sloka. What Krishna is telling now to Uddhavaji, we should go a little deep into this. Now, what he is telling is, Uddhava told to Bhagavan Krishna, I am so confused. I don't understand what you are saying. With utmost vairagyam, and you understood why. He knows Bhagavan Krishna is going away. Within 7 days, the whole of Dwarka is going to be immersed in the ocean. It is like remember that sloka some of you may be remembering, in Viveka Chudamani. Durvara samsara. Remember that? Durvara samsara davagni dagdha. I am burning in the fire of this, terrible samsaric life. That is how the student goes to Guru. Something like that Uddhava was telling to Krishna. So Krishna says, he calms him down and then he tells, I'll tell you a story. He starts with a little introduction. Prayana manija loke loga tattva vichakshanaha. Loga tattva vichakshanaha is a very important word. Is one who has got a very good understanding of what the world is, what is it about, and a person whose mind is pure and clear. What is a pure mind? A pure mind is one who is not corrupted with, he said, 6 sharks of life. They are the 6 obstacles, mental obstacles that prevent us from spiritually growing. In other words, that prevent us from true bhakti too. Without bhakti, it's not possible to understand the Vedantic concepts in its pure form. So what are those 6 sharks? They are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsarya. And we will not go deep into all that. Such people who have saved themselves from these evil aspects of the world, and who are also adhikaris, as it is mentioned in Upanishads. The qualities of a fit student. Sadhana Chatushtaya. Who have good viveka, vairagya, shamadama, etc. Right? Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is that intense desire to understand the meaning of life. It starts with that. When that intense desire comes, you don't know what you are looking for. But that intense desire is that you feel that vacuum inside and nothing else suddenly feels very important. Anytime you get an opportunity for people to say, you go inward. Why? All this Vedas, Atman, Paramatman, curiosity increases, Because there is nothing, because the mind is at that time very pure. It is almost very close to Paramatman. The Lord is sitting there and saying, come, come, come. That's what happens. So, such a person is called Loka Tattva Vichakshana. So he is telling, such people, Loka Tattva Vichakshana, what they do, they samudharanti, they rise above the small and major pinpricks of life by themselves, by proper reflection and understanding they do. And for them, Atmana Gururatmaiva, their own mind is their Guru. For such people, their own mind is their Guru. And that's very, very special for such people. And such people, because of their own effort, by self-effort, by self-analysis, observing people around, understanding underlying aspects of people, of the nature, of the supernatural, they actually know what is Shreyas. Shreyas is another beautiful, very important word in Vedanta. So such people know. So what does that mean? That means, well, then what are the scriptures for? What is Guru for? In fact, they say, one Mahatma was saying, you take a group of people, a group of 100 people, illiterate people, take them to deep insides of woods, ask them to live there. After 2 generations, 1 or 2 Mahatmas will come from there. So they are the type of people we call as Loka Tattva Vichakshana. So Bhagavan says, there had been people like that. There are people. Such people live themselves by themselves. When we say that, do you remember something? Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter. 6th chapter, I think it's the 6th verse or 5th verse. Uddhareda uddharet manam atmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva rupuratmanaha, which means Bhagavan Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you lift yourself by yourself. It is to say, you have to look inward, reflect, think, discriminate, understand, lift yourself by yourself. And your own mind is your enemy as well as your best friend. So you got to, it can be your enemy because any thoughts can come. You have to be very alert and vigilant as to how you listen to your mind. Negate when you have to, encourage when you should not. So be alert, you should be able to lift yourself. Lift your own self by your own discriminative capacity. And I am going back here. Bhagavan Krishna said about Tattva Loka Tattva Vichakshana, isn't it? I just wanted to give an example here of Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira had an encounter with the Yaksha in the forest when they were in forest for 12 years. Remember? At that time, all his brothers were actually unconscious. And when he went there, that place, looking for them, this Yaksha appeared in front of him, asked him a question. What do you feel as the wonder of wonders? Many of you might know the answer. Then he answered. He gave so many questions. He said, I will ask you so many questions. Only if you are able to answer, you will get your brothers back. So that is a challenge he took up. Anyway, that's a different story. So he said, what do you think is the wonder of wonders that you see? Then he said, people are seeing others getting old, they're falling sick, and they leave the world. They die. But still, everybody thinks they are not going to fall sick. They are not going to grow old. Youngsters think they will never get old. And we all thought like that. And we think that is for somebody else. When somebody dies, then we become very highly Vedantic. And that stays for 1 hour or 2 hours. By the time we take our shower, it is gone. Something like that. So Yudhishthira answered like that. So Guruji in his talks, he says if he was able to answer like that, he had very such a person, he was a Tattva Vichakshanaha with very pure heart and was a very, very fit Vedanta. For lack of words I am saying. He has the sadhana chatushtaya. Only such people, they learn, they go above the normal, ordinary understanding and samsaric life by themselves. Another example is the next slide. This is from Kathopanishad. In Kathopanishad, the hero, there is a story. The hero of the story is a very young boy of 7 or 8 years old. He finds his father doing some mistake and he gets very sad about that. He goes and asks Dad, Dad, why are you doing this? Dad was very, very busy. He said, don't disturb me. Go die. Very carelessly, he answered like that. As a matter of fact, even now many of us say like that without meaning anything. This boy who took every word of his teachers and of his parents as it is, actually with his own yogic power, he goes to Yamaloka where he says, why should I give any problems to anybody? He straight away by himself went to Yamaloka. And Yama Maharaja was not there that time. He came after some time. Then Yamaraja asked Nachiketa, the boy's name was Nachiketa. Asked Nachiketa, what is that you want? Then he asked for a lot of things. He actually asked for pure Vedanta. What is Atma? What is life? What is that is permanent? I want to be there. And this Yama Maharaja thinks this boy, he simply does not know what he's asking. So he would tempt him, initially with small things. Then he even bigger things, like I'll give you so many chariots, I'll give you so many horses, I'll give you so many cows, etc., etc. Then he will say, I'll give you direct access to heaven. All these dancers will come and dance for you. I'll give you so much of gold, I'll give you this, that. He got so tired. He says, all those things are I know they are also ephemeral. You say you will send me to heaven? I know. Shine Punye, Mathyaloga Vishandi, I will have to come back to the earth and again live. I know all those things. Don't try to tempt me with all these things, oh Lord. How can a young person like that be so? Such people are extremely highly evolved. So when Bhagavan Krishna says there are people who could lift themselves by themselves, it does not mean that people like us do not need a guru. Okay? So I just once again brought that slide here. Bhagavan Krishna says, if you really can go inward with a very purified mind, you look around, you can actually learn everything from nature. Different aspects of nature can teach you the meaning of life itself. And then he tells the story of Avadhuta Gita, of Avadhuta. Avadhuta Gita is Gita, or the song, or the advice given by an Avadhuta. Okay? And he was supposed to have been the first Dattatreya. That is, many people worship him, we have temples after him and all that. Now what does Avadhuta mean? An Avadhuta is a very highly enlightened person. He is like God only, walking on the surface of the earth. Okay? Dhu is the dhatu, the root sound that makes up the word Avadhuta, which means to shake. Dhu means to shake. One who has shaken away all the fluff of misunderstandings that appears in the world is Avadhuta. Okay? And it's a stage of absolute equanimity of all duality. That means what? He sees only one. He sees oneness in this plurality of the world. That means he sees Paramatma in himself. Like how Krishna advised Avadhuta to come up to that level. You should see the whole world in you, and then you should see yourself in me. Remember, he said that. And it is so. And Avadhuta is one who has reached absolute equanimity, and it is the highest stage of human form of living, shown to the world by the first known Avadhuta Lord, Dattatreya. Okay, so now there was this king, Yadu king, who was an ancestor of Bhagavan Krishna. Yadu dynasty. Krishna belonged to Yadu dynasty, right? So Yadu king was an ancestor of Bhagavan Krishna. And he saw one day this Avadhuta, this sage. He had been seeing him, a very, very happy person. And he observed him. He found he was very brilliant, it seems. He could talk about anything. He was very kind, brilliant, very handsome, very eloquent, very good in communication, and he just knew everything. And if we see a person like that, what will we feel? Oh, he knows everything. He knows so smart. He can reach to any level. He can achieve anything, isn't it? Because he knows everything. But he was very, very careful. Didn't think about anything, no worries. If somebody gave him food, he would eat. And wherever he found some place to lie down when he was tired, he would lie down. He'll keep on roaming from one place to another. He was homeless. He had no home of his own. But he was happy. He was very, very happy. As if happiness was oozing out of him. Like that, he was so happy. So, the king, we all feel king must be the happiest, all power, he can take anything, he can have anything that he wants. This king, he was thinking, what is that is making this person so completely fulfilled? You ask him if he wants anything, no, he's very happy. So he went to this Avadhuta, he was an Avadhuta, and asked him, "Hey Swamiji, could you tell the secret? What is the secret of your this exalted state of joyful mind? Where did you get it from? Or can you introduce me to your Guru? Maybe ask him to take me as a disciple." So Avadhuta said, "Yeah, actually I had not just one Guru, I had many Gurus. So this picture is to show, it seems, Yadu king told him, you know the way you are, we are all kind of struggling in this world, disease, problems, look at the common people. No, every day people have to struggle for their food, they have to take care of their family, then housing problem, food problem, diseases come, and there are people who are very adharmic, we have to protect good people from the bad people, the whole life seems to be such a struggle. And you are happily spending days and nights like an elephant who is in Ganga river when the forest on the shores is in fire. Did I represent that nicely? So the elephant is happily enjoying the water when there is forest fire, when the rest of the world is struggling. You remind me of that situation. Who is your Guru? Sri Brahmana Uvacha. Brahmana here refers to Uddhava. Sri Brahmana Uvacha. Santi me Guravo Rajan Brahavo Buddhyupasritaha. Rajan, a king. Santi me Guravo. I have many gurus. Gurava is plural of guru. I have many gurus that my brain, that my intellect depends on, that I learn from. I have many gurus. Oh, okay. He said, everything in nature is his guru. Okay. Plants, trees, elephant, many types of workers, a child, snake, deer, like that. I have 24 gurus, he said. And from here on, Bhagavan Krishna is narrating what Avadhuta taught to King Yadu, what he learned from each of these 24 gurus. Okay, are you ready? The 24 gurus are earth, air, sky, water, fire, sun, moon, dove, python. क्या guru hai? Deep sea, moth, bees, elephant, honey gatherer, deer, fish, Pingala. Pingala was a prostitute. Osprey, child, maiden, arrow maker, serpent, spider, larva, and his own body. We are going to go through it. Earth. He said, look at earth. We use all those huge electric bores to drill, don't we? We use such huge machineries to beat the ground, to harden it. And to that extent, from when a baby falls on the floor, mother would say, the ground made you fall, and the mother pretends as if she is beating the earth, and the baby thinks, oh, the floor has been punished, whether it pains or not, she or he does not know. Right? So we do so many things. Does the earth ever retaliate? There are, of course, our Shastras say, for example, if you uproot a tree, you have to plant one. We don't do that. The earth teaches us how to be patient as well as forgiving. Whatever people do, whatever we do, it is. And now we all think, oh, what is there to learn? Earth is earth only. That is the difference between people like us people like them. For them, they are one with the universe. They can feel the earth as Mother Earth. They can feel it. They can feel the life on a tree. They can converse with a tree. They can feel the consciousness that pervades all of us, pervading in the animals. That is the difference. So for him, he sees, and all these things are directly talking to him. You know? And so the earth, air. Air moves about without attachment. It has the experiences, countless objects, emotions and thoughts. But then air is detached. When I was going through experiences and thoughts, etc., I remembered we just moved from Michigan to here. You know, I wanted a small house with a big yard. Because I love gardening, I love birds. I used to have a lot of bird feeders, and of course they used to come and dirty the deck and all those things. But I loved them, and flowers and all those things. When I came here in our house, no backyard at all. I can't even step in there. It goes like that. And then of course, you know, our Sudhaji said, no problem. We have a nice backyard in the ashram. Come and do gardening, lot of flowers. Whatever plants you want to plant, that is different. So, the Lord was indirectly making me detach from all those things. And do it for Lokakshemam. Come and do it in the ashram. Okay, so now, that is air. So, teaching us to be detached, at the same time be serving. Right? Air is serving without imagining. If air does not move, if there is no wind, what would our life be? Can't even imagine. Air. Then, space. Space accommodates everything and everyone. I think some words I missed there. Space accommodates everything. So also, we should be able to accommodate everyone. We should have we should be large-hearted, like the space. Again, think about a Mahatma. Think about what we want to be. We all want to be Mahatmas. We all want to be realized. We all want to somehow get into that oneness. Right? And think about this. Is there any limit to how many people we can love? There is no limit. Why not expand our love? Why not consider our neighbor kids, our neighbor adults? Their problems are not very different. And their children should not be treated different from our children. Why not expand our love to neighbors and beyond? That is why Jesus said, love thy neighbor, because it seems generally it is most difficult to love your neighbor. That's the reason. Others are okay. Somebody far away we can say we can love. Oh. Once if you are able to love your neighbor, it seems you can extend that love beyond. So, like space, we should be accommodating. Then water. Water is cooling, isn't it? When we touch water, it is cooling. And when we are thirsty, imagine when we drink water, how nice we feel. So Avadhuta is saying, I learned how when I am with any other living being, he can't even discriminate between an animal and human being. For him, everything is same. And you should give solace, happiness, joy to them. Gurudev would say, some people, when they come, we are happy. And some other people, when they go, we are happy. So, we should not be the second type of people. We should give joy to people. Then, fire. When you look at fire, fire is always going up. Like that. We should always, our thoughts and ideologies should be to take us higher and higher. Let us not settle down with what we are used to in the comfort zone. Let us think, what is better for me? What is shreyas for me? Oh, that's what I wanted to say there, I forgot. Like how Nachiketa asked Yamaraja, he said, I don't want all these things. Shreyascha prayascha manushya metaha. People, when they are born, it is our choice to have. There are things, good and bad, best, everything is there. But I don't want those. I want what is Shreyas. Shreyas is that what is good for you permanently, what reaches you to Satyam, what takes you to the ultimate truth. Not that is better than this. Always look at what is the best for our spiritual growth. So, fire teaches you to go higher and higher. And moon, Avadhuta says, you see the waxing and waning of the moon, like yesterday also we saw. And we enjoy that, we look at that. But how many of us think about the other side of the moon? Like that, beyond and behind what we perceive, there is a substratum. Take your mind beyond that and try to understand that substratum, which has no changes in it, which is steady and avikari, without any changes. Okay? The next one is sun. The sun illumines all around it. In the same way, we should live a life of inspiration to others. How sun illumines our life, we should illumine as though others' lives. So, the way we live within ourselves, inside our home and outside our home should be such a way that we should be somehow or other a motivational factor for others. An inspiration for others. Guruji would say, you might have some sorrows, you might have some worries, that's your problem. Don't show it to others when you come to public. It doesn't sound very nice, but it's very, very, very true. When we do that, it is, oh, I have this problem. You want others also to see that and take sympathy on you, feel sorry. We don't want all those things. Take yourself beyond and above that. Then pigeon, it's an interesting story. It is about attachment. How harmful attachment is. So, Avadhuta tells the story of a pigeon and his family. He had a wife pigeon and baby pigeons. So, once when the wife pigeon, mother pigeon and the father pigeon came home, they found their babies were caught in a net of a hunter, bird hunter. So the mother pigeon felt so sad. She screamed and cried and finally she jumped into the net thinking that she can somehow save. Father pigeon, what did he do? Then how can I live without my wife and children? Let me die. Let me also die. He also jumped. What happened? He also died. And the hunter had a bigger feast that day. That's what happened. So the lesson from Avadhuta says from that I learn is, attachment is not going to help anybody. It is not going to help me. It is not going to help others. We have to be detached from the situation. And if you can deal with that, your intellect is available for you. tell you one real thing. When my child was very, very small, when he got fever, I was so attached, so bonded. Can't imagine. When he got fever, I used to get fever. I have witnessed that. When he had stomach problem, I would get instantaneously stomach problem.
I used to be detached.
Okay, so, and I always needed somebody else to be there. Like that. Then, next teacher was Python. He says, fulfill one's duties, do your roles, welt your best, and leave the rest. Do not desire for more, nor be too pushy, which can lead to adharma. We should do our duty. We have to do our nitya karma and naimitya karma, or periodical duties. All these things we have to do. We have to make money for our family. All those things are there. Be satisfied with what you are eligible, what you get. Do not push too much. That is not to say you be a broomstick. But do not push too much so that you are agitated or the other side is agitated, resulting in adharmic thoughts, adharmic actions. I don't think I have to explain it further, because you have to go through so many teachers, so I am going to go ahead. Then, Osho. He says, good times or bad times, jnana should always be full, like depth of ocean. Means, you should act out of your wisdom. Do not get carried away by surroundings or promptings from others, or do not act on the weakness of your mind. A situation comes, we worry about, oh, what will others say? We know what is the right thing to do. We worry about what people at home would say, how they would react. We don't have the courage of conviction. Each of those actions, we should know we are taking ourselves down. Our mind becomes more weak. At certain times, we might have to put in more effort, go through certain struggles. Those struggles are worth it. And the more we do, the more strength of mind we get, more fearless we get, and less we forget our goal, and we'll go towards that. So be like the ocean. Then, the moth. You know, the fire moth. Our kids may not know. In India and all we have seen, in certain seasons, the moth comes in thousands seeing the light, and what happens? In fire, they fall in the fire and they die. This goes for whatever we see. Don't get attracted. Don't fall for it. For on surface what you see. All that is gold, all that is, what is that? Glitters is not gold. Something like that. Similarly, even if you like something, if you think, and without much effort, if you can afford it, if you like it that much, okay, buy it. Enjoy that. There's no harm. But do not use your intellect, use the discrimination. Do I need it? Or I want it? In that want, is it a real want? Actually, all of us know. When we go shopping, you see something, you like it very much, you feel like taking your purse. And if you just halt for 1 second and think, I'll go home and think, mostly we'll say, not really needed, isn't it? Then, wasp. It seems there is a variety of wasp. When from the egg, when the larva comes out, the wasp just sits at the entrance of What's the thing of wasp called? The nest. That.
Cocoon.
Yeah. The wasp sits there, it seems staring at the larva and does not allow the larva to come out. If the larva comes out, the wasp would sting it and it's very painful. So the baby would just sit and will keep on looking at the mother wasp. And that grows up to be wasp. It is to say, Avadhuta says, what you think, what you meditate upon is what you become. So be watchful of what thoughts you entertain in the mind. The more sattvic thoughts we entertain, the more sattvic we become. The more gentle thoughts, more thoughts of love, compassion and gentleness. If we entertain more kind of, we saw those 6 sharks, isn't it? Kama, Krodha, Mada, Moda, all those, Matsadya, all those things. Our mind also would become agitated, become like that. That's what he means by that. Continuing, honeybee. Honeybee, it seems, collects honey from varieties of flowers and brings it home. Like that, Avadhuta says, just as I also have done, do not worry about the messenger, value the message. It doesn't matter from where you are learning. When you see there is a value, learn that. If it's look at a child, that's what he has also done. That's what he is talking to us. So, without any prejudice, from which nation he is, black or white, whatever, young or old, learn the message. Do not be judgmental about the messenger. Then elephant. Elephant, that's again just like the light of the moth, is about our panchendriyas. They love the feel of touch in certain periods of the year, and that is how the elephant catch elephants by digging a big hole and creating an appearance as if there is another elephant there, thinking that that is a female elephant. Elephant goes and jumps there and gets caught because they like the touch of the opposite sex. He says, be careful, watchful. Next is honey gatherer. How is honey formed? Lots of honeybees. They go out, collect honey, and they live in the honeycomb. They keep on gathering, isn't it? Keep on collecting. Then what happens? The honey gatherer comes and takes the whole honeycomb, takes the honey. And the poor honeybees are left with nothing. Like that, he says, do not aggrandize. You say, make money and have a heart to share. We can keep on accumulating, aggrandizing. We never know when our end comes, it is going to go to nowhere. Instead, when you are alive, share your property, share your time, share your energy, and share, do not aggrandize. Continuing. Next is deer. Again, another sensory pleasure seeking problem. Deer loves certain music. I don't know what music. Some people say flute. Certain music, yeah, it's not this thing. Deer hunters use that. So they play the music, the poor deer, they think, nice music, they run towards the music, and that is how hunters catch them. Okay? So, and our Shastras say, Actually, don't listen to music which creates agitation, any kind of agitation. Which is, most of our movie songs are like that. Our scriptures say, listen to songs which is devotional, which will take you to higher plane of consciousness, which takes you to a subtle level of consciousness, devotion to your Guru, devotion to the nature, devotion to the Lord. Like poems of William Wordsworth, for example. Then fish, food, love of food. Right? Fish gets caught with the bait that the fishermen put. Try to go catch it, they die. The next is this courtesan. Her name was Pingala. Pingala used to every evening go out and wait for very rich people to come. She would entertain them, make money. And this day also, she nicely dressed up, etc., etc. And she is waiting at the gate, and nobody turned up. Nobody wanted. Waited till late evening, late night, etc. Nobody came. Then suddenly something struck her. She thought, my God, I'm very beautiful. I am healthy. I have a nice body. I have everything. Why is that I am so much running after this money? What is this? Why should I go after this? Do I really need it? Or isn't there anything else in life? Isn't this my crave for money that is making me so crazy? Now I have no peace of mind. When I have the money, when I have a customer, I am happy. When I don't have a customer, I am so unhappy. Why? And it seems at that time, there was some Mahatma around that place. This is how the story goes. And because of his presence, her mind went like that. That's the effect of great rishis and Mahatmas near ourselves, She thought like that. And she's supposed to have composed a beautiful song, which became very famous. From that day, she got a lot of vairagya towards the world of objects, and she transformed herself. So from that, Avadhuta says, I learned how to develop what is true vairagya. Going ahead. Don't look at the middle picture. First look at the first picture. A bird, osprey bird, is one kind of a small variety of eagle bird, it seems. He was flying, and Avadhuta was looking. He was flying with a small piece of meat in his beak, and suddenly lot of other birds came, started chasing that bird, so much that this bird got so flustered, he just dropped the piece of meat, and then all those birds just left him, and he was in peace. So seeing that, Avadhuta says, I learned from that incident, from that bird, not to hold on to anything that is dear to you. What is not dear to us, anyway we are not going to hold on to that. If there is something dear to us, don't hold on to it too much. All these are so beautiful, really. If you take any of our problems, all those problems, if you find out the root cause of it, would fall in one of these. And the next one, a child. So sweet it is. No? Anyway, how is a child? He is very spontaneous and lives in the present, isn't it? One moment he is, suddenly he or she may be very unhappy, he will scream as if somebody pinched him. Whether he gets or not gets it, moment he forgets about it, he is again living in that moment very happy. Avadhuta says, be like a child. Don't unnecessarily carry luggage in your heart. What is gone is gone. Live in the present. Enjoy the present. Remove all burdens from your heart and surrender problems that you cannot solve to the Lord. He will take care. Be happy. Next one is young girl with bangles. It seems there was a young girl in a village, and the youngsters here will not understand what I am talking about. So she was to get married, so the boys' party went to see the girl. And when they went to the girl's house, parents were not there, only she was there. So she was very, very timid and scared as to what to do. She said, come, sit down and all that. And she went into the kitchen. She was taught that how you have to receive people. Went into the kitchen, there was nothing, no food to eat and all that. There was only paddy. So she took that paddy, she wanted to pound it with that, what's that called? With the pistol. And then when he was doing that, she had some bangles. It would make noise. She thought, so it took half from this side, half from that side, and kept it. Again it was making noise. Again she moved. Finally, only one on this and one. Only one bangle was left on the hand. Only that did not make noise. And Uddhava says, you got to reflect alone. Two is noise. You never know, even one little thing may be enough for the other person to jump and hit the roof. We never know. Always, every day, find some time to find seclusion. Meditate, reflect by yourself. And only that way you can find oneness in among plenty. Okay? Find solitude. Going ahead. Arrow maker. I'm trying to be as fast as I can, okay? Arrow maker is, look at the way he's focused. An arrow maker was making arrows. It seems one king passed by. He did not even notice it. Uddhava says, we should have such kind of single-pointed attention in whatever we do, and in single-pointed attention we will find peace. It is when we are trying to process many things at the same time, we cannot find peace. Here means, in our meditation, in our day-to-day contemplation, try to reduce your thoughts. Only when you have single-pointed attention, you can really go inward. To get that single-pointed attention, you have to be by your own self, reduce the thoughts and focus. Okay. And serpent. It seems snakes do not have its own house, a place. It keeps on changing. Like that, a householder should not develop too much attachments to it, so that if he has to leave it, he should leave it without regret. Okay? Then, next one, spider. Spider, I don't know how many of you know, spider creates its web, right? That web is generated from itself. And it can pull back the web to its own self by itself. Like that, this whole universe, it has come from that one Paramatma. And it goes back to that one Paramatma. And there is only one, isn't it? And he is providing or it is pervading, or she is pervading everywhere. And everything has come from him. Everything is going back to him. That means what? There is only him. There is only Paramatma. There's only, not only that there is one Atma and one Paramatma. There is only God. There is only Paramatma. There is only Atma. Okay? Yes. So these were the 24 teachers that Avadhuta said, I learned from. Now, he says, all these teachers that we talked about, right? How much time I have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh, okay. All this, if you have seen, the 5, we are all endowed with 5 Panchendriyas, isn't it? And we saw 5 Indriyas, sorry. And we saw about deer, elephant, fish, different creatures, with one Indriya, how they were caught in its own temptations, struggling, each one leading to its own destruction, right? How many Indriyas we have? 5. Huh? So, this particular sloka is called sorry about that. What was it called? I forget the name. It was part of the stuti that Prahalada sang to Narasimha. He is singing it to him. This is in Avadhuta Gita. Jihvai gado mupa. That's not the tune. Jihvai gado mupa magashadi kahim tasha. Okay, I'm going to just read. I cannot get the tune. Jihvai gado ammuma pagashadi karhitasha. Shishnonyatastva vagudaram sravanam kudaschet granonyatascha palak kvacha karma shakti bhakvya sampatnya iva gopatim lunanti. Sorry, it's just not coming to me how to sing. Shishnonyatastu vagudaram shravanam kudaschit kranonyatascha baladrikvaja karma shakti bhavyaksa iva gopatim lunanti. It is Prahalada is telling Karhitarsha, the desires are pulling. What desires? From how many directions? 5 directions. For normal human beings, desires are pulling from 5 different directions. And how about Jihva? Jihva is tongue. The tongue is being pulled from all different directions. So many kinds of pulls. We are not satisfied with one roti and maybe one curry and one yogurt. We want so many dishes. Gulab jamun, we don't mind taking any amount of effort to make it and put that white thing creating more diabetes. Still we take so much of effort. Not only we, everybody is like that. All people are like that. The tongue, it seems, jitam sarvam jiterase. If you can win over your interest in taste, your taste sensory desires, most of it you are taken care of. It seems the tongue that is troubling you is cause for most of our misery. And not only that, the skin wants to have nice clothes, nice touching, nice cream. And we want to hear nice Shravanam. Nice songs we want to hear. What is same new songs, new music we go after. The speaker was saying, that taste of yours only has spoiled our nation. All this kind of movie songs has destroyed our youngsters. Actually, it is very, very true. The type of songs that we listen to really affect us. Not as we grow much older, in young ages, how crazy we used to be after certain songs, isn't it? It matters what you listen to. And our nose, we go after taste, etc. How is it? It is like having 5 wives, it seems. It is there in Bhagavad. 5 wives, each one pulling the husband in her own direction. What is the plight of that husband? Our Jivatma, it seems, is in that jail. We are all living in that kind of jail and get suffering due to that. And it seems, if you could take photograph of our Antakarana, it would look like that husband who is pulled in 5 different directions. Thank God we don't see our own, we can't see others also. So, that is the situation, being pulled in different directions. So, again only 10 minutes more. Do you?
5 minutes.
Huh?
5.
Shall I continue or you want to ask questions?
No, I think we'll
Continue later?
No, later, yeah. Questions now.
So, when Uddhava heard all this, he said, of course, same question. What do we do? Bhagavan, we are thrashed from all sides. We are hit from all sides and suffering through the samsara. Further, Avadhuta describes to Yadava king at this stage what he learned from his own body, from himself, as compared to other living beings around, other animals, other birds. What is the difference in the human creation? Okay? I'll continue that next week, tomorrow. Any questions? The person who had a lot of questions yesterday is not here today. All questions are answered. No, yesterday we were here for quite some time.
24 days.
Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.